with paper.
There's only two things here in racing and SRA that we do not like. That is wet Misano and this week's track of Snetterton. Welcome everyone to SRA's Division 4 Round 5 at Snetterton. I'm Taylor Mono. Join me on the desk as always, Bailey Kish and Austin Sawyer. How you guys feeling tonight?
Good.
Okay.
Great.
Very descriptive. I like it. So we are waiting for everything to kind of fall into place. We have some very mixed opinions on how this track drives, mainly in the fact that none of us like it. So,
Very mixed.
Yeah, very mixed indeed. But it should make for some good chaotic racing, which I love. And speaking of chaos, if we go down on track right now, tons of silver cars piling out of the pits already.
Oh, look at Pip. We're struggling down here.
We're struggling, okay. Just wanted to catch that on camera, but first, to highlight some key overtaking areas, Bailey.
Key overtaking areas. Well, this track makes it very difficult to overtake as it is not very wide. And by the time you get to a corner, the next one's already on you. So overtaking is going to be very difficult. I'd say probably the hardest place to overtake all season. That being said, the corners that we might see overtaking will be down into Riches, which is turn 1, and possibly into Montreal, which is the first heavy braking zone. Definitely can go too wide there. The inside line is definitely the place to do it. Won't really see any major opportunity, maybe into a Go Stony, which is turn 4, which is also another hard braking zone. But once we get down to the end of Bentley Straight there, you could see some side-by-side action into Brundle and Nelson. Otherwise, it's going to be tail to nose for the rest of the race, and maybe some offs as well, maybe some crashes to get some possible positions.
We certainly love to see some crash. Well, maybe not love to see it, but we certainly like to see some crashes and chaos on track, and we'll hit the standings later with your resident standing expert, Austin Sawyer. But if you're new here and you're new to our qualifying, drivers have 10 minutes each in a 20-minute qualifying session to set their best time. Silver drivers go out for the first 10, gold go out for the second. And if you can look to your left side of your screen, drivers with that silver plate are your silver drivers, drivers with the white plate are your gold drivers. Pretty self-explanatory, I might say. So you're going to watch Shackleful cross the line to start the very first flying lap of Snetterton this week. And I'm not excited for it.
No, it's good watching them do it first so we kind of know what we're going into.
Exactly. The practice race yesterday was pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say rough, at least in D1 and D2. There was definitely the moments that had chaos in it, other than the fact of me being put into a role by our resident
CEO.
CEO Doug. But other than that, it was decent. So maybe D4 can kind of reproduce that for us here. So you see Trackful getting all wiggly, screaming his tires out back. While we're watching Trackful lay down the first lap, I'll go to Austin Sawyer to see who are his top picks for this race. Who do you think is going to take it?
Looking at the hot lap leaderboard, we got Fade in there, setting D2 time. We're calling it now. Commentator's curse. You're welcome.
Fade.
Fade. So Fade to take it all or just qualifying?
Take it all.
Take it all.
Take it all.
Well, if he can do it like the past 2 weeks have been, where the leader just kind of got out, kept a pretty steady lead, actually gapped a lot. He has a good chance here, but blue flags will definitely come into play as not a lot of room to move around on the track. So I have this strange gut feeling that blue flags will definitely cause some accidents, to say the least. Shackfoot will go across the line, set the provisional pole time since it's the only time of a 150.5. Respectable for D4, but Space Baker is just going to come by and absolutely massacre it by a second and a half. 48.9. Space Baker in the warm-up today was absolutely laying down time. Same with the driver of Zooch, who I believe will come out in the gold session. And Space Baker is already 5/10 up on their time, so looking to keep this progression up, looking to set a 47 already. The track isn't completely warmed up yet, mainly because you only have one set of drivers on. So technically, once the gold drivers go, they have the better track. They should set better times. But like we saw last week with the D2 race, that wasn't always the case, but that was because it was wet.
Do I hear some bitterness?
I do, yes, you have some bitterness from me. There is some bitter, because the week that I get moved up the gold finally is the week that gold gets the poopy end of the stick in qualifying.
Yeah, it was fine all the way until you had to come play with us, you weirdo.
Exactly. Space Baker 6/10 up on their time, gaining the most out of anyone on the grid except for Schaefer back in P6 right now. I believe Fade is in, or not Fade. Is that Fade in your picture? I forget that.
No,
one.
this is Fonseca. This is Fonseca. So it's currently P2 by 8/800ths of a second. Sorry.
So very much there, and is on track to beat that time, but Space Baker is also on track to beat their time. Not the greatest of exits out of the final turn, but should be enough to at least keep provisional pole for the time being, kind of catching some of that draft. Sets a 48.4.
Wow.
Fonseca will come across the line and get into the 48s here as well shortly.
As long as
He's got
he,
a 47 in him. I can feel it.
Definitely will. Logan Schaefer going across the line, second up on their time. We'll put in provisional P2, 48.5 for him. By a 10th behind Space Baker right now. Absolutely flying.
Yeah, Fonseca just lost a 10th.5 out of the last corner. The corners before the long straights here are going to be your biggest marks to hit, as you do lose potentially 1 to 3 tenths per section of the track on these straights.
So if you don't got those corner exits down, you are screwed for the rest of the lap.
Yeah.
You see massive improvements kind of happening all across the board. As I say, that's a few going into the red. One of those improvers, Air, that we are currently on right now, currently 5/10 up on their time, will be enough to get them within the top 5. Nothing to put them on pole just yet. And as I say that, they are bleeding out some time right now.
And probably the biggest gainer right now is Space Baker sitting on pole still, so he's up almost 5/10.
He's on track to lay down a 47, which in terms of D4 is an absolutely blistering time.
Yeah.
I believe D1s are setting 45s just barely, or maybe mid 45s. So the fact that we're kind of this close just shows how competitive each league is and how good we have top competition in each division.
Space Baker's going to come across the line again with another 4/10 improvement.
48 flat now.
Yeah.
5/10 away from Schaefer. And Air is going to come across the line with a second and 2/10 up on their time. Again, won't be enough to put it on pole, but will be enough to put in P2 for the time being with 48.3. And Fonseca is also improving. 5/10 coming out of the last turn. Trying to make up all the time that they lost in the last lap. Not really going to be able to do so. Has the same exact exit. Is 5/10 up. We'll put it P2. Just a 10th off of P1. 48.1 is their time. We have 1:30 left in the silver qualifying right now. So everyone getting on their final laps here. Make or break.
Space Baker's all 3 qualifying laps that he had completed all improved by 4 to 6 tenths each time.
And this time doesn't look to be doing that. It looks to be going the opposite direction.
Yes. Not a curse, because he was doing it himself.
Talking about curses, maybe we can curse Bickham here. Not that we don't want to.
No, we don't want to.
Bickham driving the gingerbread car here. 5/10 up on their time. Gonna make or break their lap here with the exit onto the back stretch. Looks to match their last lap, so we'll just kind of have to make up all their time in the final third sector here. Other improvers on the board seem to be Recton, sorry.
Recton, yeah.
Recton, Bickham, and Farrell currently. Tibbetts is a big one, and Mai. We're currently focused on Bickham. 20 seconds left in the silver qualifying. Bickham will get another time around, just with a couple others behind him and in front of him as cars dip and dive out of the way.
Error.
Bickham puts it P4, 48.5 now, with one more lap.
And Air actually took pole by 3/10 on
Wow.
second to last lap. He's probably going to get another one in here. He was up 2/10 there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pull out this lap.
Don't think Space Baker will be able to get another lap in after this lap, as well as we have finished the silver qualifying. So any silver on a lap right now, this is their final lap. I believe Space Baker is actually coming to the end of their lap, so it looks like your provisional pole leader will be Air for the silvers. We are still on board with Robichard, who is making up about 3/10 of their time right now. You see all the golds in the background. Space Baker still not able to gain nearly as much time as he wants to. 4/10 down. Not where you want to be going into the final sector. Don't believe they will be making up any time here. Robichard trying to make up all the time here in sector 3 is trying their hardest. Had a little bit of a squiggly turn there. Just keeping it together to keep 2/10 up. Gonna be on the edge of jumping P5 here. Losing it all in this final corner. Not able to keep it tucked in enough. Doesn't get a very good exit either. Bleeding away time. And if you know what Bailey mentioned, if you mess up the exit onto the straight, you bleed away time. Robichard lost 3/10 worth of time.
Mm-hmm. It's a real
Nasty
killer.
curb. It's a nasty curb right there.
It's a very nasty curve. Schaefer does just enough to put it ahead of Bickham for P4 of 48.5 flat. Drives off into the grass. We'll just return to pits, and up next is the Golds. And you know who's leading the Golds? Our very own Matt Browning. First
The
rider
goat.
racing Ram Ranch.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
See what they can do. Personally, I know that he set his personal best today, so might be feeling himself today. Hopefully that can translate into a good lap here, as we are just now caster cursing. So I see someone off in the grass, Bailey.
Is Mr. John Donahue, who's been putting in the work this week and on his outlap puts it in the grass. So it's good to see.
Oh, Donahue's all the way up there. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Oh, he is on his outlap. You are right. Never mind.
Yes.
That would make sense why he's all the way up there.
That iRacing strat.
Yes.
Yeah. His current lap's at 20 minutes, 58 seconds.
Casually.
Casually.
Well, Matt Browning trying to make the best of their lap. Looks like a good exit onto the back stretch here. Sector 3 is where it all happens, and that McLaren should be pretty decent here in Sector 3 with the amount of downforce that it has. Oh, it takes a little bit too much sausage. And caster curse. Sorry, bud, it happens, and he returns to pits. Wade Scarver is now our leader for the gold drivers.
It's going down the list at this point.
He is. Billy, I know you want to do a track walk. Is there anyone you want specifically? I'm
on Dreebs. He's coming around the last corner, but he's awfully close to, Ruzik here. I don't know if he's going to stick it and he backs out. So we'll jump on board with Dreebs here. jump on the bonnet cam here. Dreebs coming across the line here. The first corner here, not too big of a braking zone. It is kind of a fast corner. This corner is Riches. You can take the curb there. It does launch you if you get a lot of it, but first major overtaking zone is going to be right here into turn 2, down into Montreal. Late apex, get that power early as you make your way to a long, slower corner. You don't really have to do much braking here. Just kind of downshift, send the car through the corner. You can take this apex or this curb here. Some people are saying you can get punctures, but I have not personally got it. The next major overtaking zone is here into turn 4. Kind of could take a double apex. Some people hug the corner there completely. Either one works. This one is a very important corner. You could either gain a lot of time or you could lose a lot of time, end up in the grass. This corner is also very difficult. You can take the curb there, safer not to. Get on the power here early. Same corner here, you kind of just want to throw the car in, roll it up on the curb possibly, and get as much of this exit as you can, as you do want to set yourself up perfectly for this long straight of the Bentley straight, as we might see some overpowered engines on the car as they come side by side through here. It might be risky to do, but you want to hit that braking mark, kind of coast through here, nice and gentle. Make sure not to hit that sausage curb, as you have seen Matt Browning end up in the grass because of it. This corner, very quick corner, get both apexes, you can hit that curb. This second to last corner here, a very long corner. Some people struggle with it. You can take it in a higher gear and just kind of coast, or you could downshift and redline it. Either one works. Last corner there, you want to set up good. Dreebs kind of struggled there, but he's going to come across the line here. It was actually a very decent lap where he is. Yeah, where's he at? P2. Wow.
47.8. Just right behind Air. So Gold's already having the competition up and running as they get all their tires warmed up. And as I say that, Anastasi is going to go P1 provisionally, 47.4. That's 2/10 away from Air. And Ruzik is 2/10 up on their time. Running with a new special livery for Christmas this week, since we'll have a 2-week break after this.
The end of Anastasi's lap was pretty interesting. Cameron was recollecting himself. I think he probably scrubbed a 10th or 2 off Anastasi's time for pole. He was on a banger of a lap. I think 8/10 up at one point.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Dreebs had a couple of bad exits on the long straight, so I'm sure he's going to be hunting some time here, as he's only a 10th down in his current time.
Definitely has a lot of time to make up based on that lap that we did.
Yeah.
Watch, but Ruzik is also up on their time right now by 3/10, and if they can just gain just another 10th, that will put them provisional pole. But it's all about finding that last 10th in the final sectors. You see White Scarver there off in the corner of your screen in the grass.
Ooch.
And it looks like
See it.
Ruzik has lost all of their time, so they will not be setting anything record-breaking.
No, and Fade actually was up 4/10 and lost it going into the corners of Bentley Straight at the end of Brundle and Nelson there.
Zuch was up 8/10 on their time.
The curb.
Yep,
Curb.
the curb got him.
So sad.
Hate to see it. Lost about 2/10. Is trying to gain it back here in this penultimate corner here.
A lot of time there.
Yeah, decent 10th there, and even more coming into the final turn. And can they get the better exit here? About the same. 8/10 up on their
P2?
time.
P2?
We'll put them pretty far up there.
Ooh,
P3,
close.
47.7. Only 100th. 115,000th
There you
off
go.
of P2.
Nailed it.
I know.
Nice.
I can speak. It's fine. So I have Lorenzo now 3/10 up on their time. Other people making up time is Fade. Did see Dreebs making up some time, but lost it all there before I said something. Being about 4/10 up on their time. Doc all the way in the back, trying to get back at it. 10th up on their time. Lorenzo coming around a very fast corner. Won't make up too much. Anastasi's kind of keeping their middle ground right now. As I say that, losing 2/10.
Yeah, I've just been watching Dreebs here in this lap. I don't know, it could be strong factored by the track, but it looks like he's drifting a lot of these corners.
Could have some hot tires, whatever it is, the better gets situated, because we do have a minute left, which means pretty much anyone that starts their lap now, that's their final lap. Ruzik finding another.
Let's finish strong, Fade. Let's go.
Ruzik finding 4/10 to put them provisional pole, 47.4.
Wow.
65 thousandths away from Anastasi. Anastasi will have one more lap, I believe.
Oh, and Zodi Fade.
Zodi
Fade with a 47.4.
7,000.
Last corner turn.
Wow.
Last corner, like a 10th or 2 as well.
Won't put their time, another time in. That will be their qualifying session. So they are locked in provisional pole. Ruzik needs to find 7 thousandths to lock down that provisional pole, as we were watching Lorenzo go P4 47.6. Stay on board with Ruzik. Anastasi needs to find 700ths and then some to try to out-trump Ruzik if they can make up all the time. And Ruzik is currently 2/10 up on their time. We are in the closing stages of qualifying. Everyone on track right now is on their final lap. Car 151 invalidates Lorenzo. That will be his position. Provisional P4 for the time being. Ruzik still up, trying to gain time. Didn't get the greatest Vegza on that back stretch, and it is bleeding about a 10th off of his time currently. Anastasi behind him, 2/10 up on their time, dropping now. It will be coming down to the final corner. Ruzik does currently have the time to take provisional pole away from Fade and outbeat Ruzik. Or Anastasi, sorry.
Anastasi had a really good exit out to Bentley Straight. Made up about a 10th on the straight and is now up 2/10 on his time.
Ruzik had a terrible exit onto the front stretch. Won't be able to pick up any more time and actually stays P2 for the time being. But here comes Anastasi, 2/10 up on their time. Gonna jump not one, but two people for that pole position.
Had a very good exit. Very good exit.
Very good lengthy gap. Could just lift off the throttle here if he really wants to. Sticks it in, 47.1.
Wow.
Don't count out
Nice.
Doc yet in the back. 9/10 up on their time. We'll jump them pretty substantially up here into the top 10. Bobby Doc. We'll put it P9.
Bobby D.
Wait, 48.1.
Wow.
So your
What a
top
qualifier.
5, Anastasi, Fade, Ruzik, Lorenzo, and Air, Air being the only silver up there in the top 5. Whew. Well, if the race is just like qualifying, we're in for quite the show here. So if you want to throw it over to Austin, take it through the team standings.
Team standings. Landon. In the AMR advantage. Landon Dreams, Landon P. Up
Pushing
14.
P.
Pushing P. Yeah, followed by Paranoid Racing. Johnny Air, Anastasi. We have great qualifying there. I think they're going to be doing some gaining today. Followed by Stardust, 20 points back. Still anyone's game.
Certainly is, and that's not it for the standings. I believe we have driver standings to go through as well.
There are also driver standings.
It's quite a bit, quite the
We
battle.
do
here.
compete for teams. I would know because I'm currently letting my teammate down, but he's competing in the driver standings.
That's okay. That's okay. You get them this week.
No, we'll be there. We'll be there. Fade's looking pretty good. 5 points ahead of Anasazi, followed by Dreebs. That's your gold drivers. Dreebs 25 points back from Fade. Johnny Air, Jerome Mai, and Space Baker are your 1, 2, 3 for your silvers. So looking at Air, look like they got a good gap, I think, qualifying that high. Looking like extending the lead if they can keep it.
I am very excited for this race now, as I see Fade and Anastasi are 1-2 in this championship,
Yep.
and they're also now 1-2 on the grid right now. So locking out the front row is your two leaders, and by 5 points is a very, 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 very slim margin here.
Would we see a Max
And-
Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton-esque?
And throw some more drama into the mix. Jumping the gun a little bit. We got penalties. Fade will get a 10-second at the end of the race.
Oh, no.
So,
Kind of big for Anastasi.
yeah.
If you are Fade, you do kind of want to jump them, try to get them on the start and just go. Don't want to
Yep.
waste time fighting Anastasi here.
If gap angle.
Exactly. If gap car.
Yes.
Yeah. But for Anastasi does not even have to overtake. He just has to be within 10
Survive.
seconds. Yeah.
Just
Just
survive.
have to be there.
Yeah.
A warm body, essentially.
No point in risking it.
These cars are starting to take off. They'll warm up their tires and brakes here to start the hour. If you don't know how our point system works, the reason why we say that 5 points is a very, 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 very small margin is because the max points you can get in a race is 112.
How would you get that?
That is 110 points for finishing first, 1 for fastest lap, and 1 for pole position, I believe.
You're correct.
Coming in with the knowledge.
Big math guy.
This brain
Big math
works
guy.
sometimes.
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. Once it hits Wednesday, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
As
Numbers don't
per-
exist.
As per
Couldn't even
season
get
weather
around to
sign.
silver driver.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, I know. Oh boy. It won't be the case this week, Sawyer.
We'll see. We'll
I'm
see.
just gonna push you out of the way this time.
Do it. You won't.
You're right, I won't. Respect.
We had a good lap one though.
It was,
That was
very chaotic. to say the
Disgusting.
least.
I'm sure you guys weren't happy, but
No.
No, I was laughing my ass off. I was dying.
I had the popcorn out.
just wide.
No, I wouldn't say wide. He just wouldn't go away.
And we're gonna hope Anastasia's gonna hope that Fade goes away. Once starting.
You really lost it for the fadeaway. Like you really,
I-
you really lost that. Come on.
It popped up in my mind for a second when it exited my mouth. It did not come out that way.
So sad.
Good fodder.
So
Very,
sad.
very sad. So I didn't quite catch in the practice race this week. Are we gonna have people starting on the final turn when we go green?
I don't think so.
It's a pretty big run up,
It is.
but at the same
And plus, we only have how many cars?
we have
32?
30 something today.
32 cars.
32, and Holmes is in the pits.
Yeah.
Did Holmes have a quality ban? Or a pit lane start? Sorry?
I do not see
Or is that-
anything of the sorts.
Was that the only penalty for Fade's 10 second?
There were two more.
Okay.
There was Logan Schaefer
Okay.
and Matt Mattisey. All three of them 10 seconds applied after the race.
Interesting.
Pretty
Holmes
clean
must-
though. Pretty
not
clean.
first drive.
Very clean, yeah.
Yeah, good job. Cleanest division according to penalties.
D6.
Yeah, you know who wasn't? D2.
Oh wait. Shout out. So true.
The grid is starting to go too wide, so we will be taking the green flag here shortly as we run up on the turn. Everyone's tires probably still cold. Brakes might be a little warm, but probably mostly cold. And this forever long turn that you have to take is just not helping your tires or brakes either. So we get out into the pit stretch, cars side by side. Anastasi followed by Fade leading the front row. Ruzik Lorenzo in the second row. Air Zuch in the next. Will there be chaos or will we have a clean turn one yet again?
And I can confirm nobody is on the bend. We are all on the straight.
Which spells good for us. So that means we can throw the green flag side by side. Anastasi and Fade go. Fade get a really good jump off Anastasi. Fade along the outside is going to let Anastasi have that inside. Fade trying to hold all the speed. Not going to be able to do it. Anastasi all up on the inside. We'll have the inside for the next turn. 3 wide in the back. As you can see there, Zuch and others going side by side. Anastasi will get the best of Fade. Fade almost getting tagged in the quarter panel by Ruzik. Nothing comes of that. Everyone slots right back in line up in front. Nothing else really happening. Side by side, I see 2 cars going into turn 4. all pretty clean. Everyone's still side by side. I don't know if Bailey caught any kind of chaos in the backfield.
There really wasn't anything. There actually just wasn't off. I don't know what happened. We're gonna go back. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We got here in the pip, the replay of what happened. Scusa just got a bump from behind. And he had an off, and I think hits the wall a tiny bit there. Yeah, but otherwise, outside of that, no contacts, no incidents, no nothing through the first couple corners.
And Dreebs and Lorenzo going side by side, trying to make do of what Ruzik's mistakes and getting a little slidey on the exit. Is coming back on track, makes contact with Lorenzo, spins Lorenzo out. Lorenzo's coming back in the middle of the track, will tag another car, and will eventually exit the grid. That was Johnny Air that got tagged by the spinning car of Lorenzo. That is unlucky, as he's now going side by side with another car. Not going to be able to do anything with that. Other cars having a very hard break up for him, and now we have a kind of chokehold here as Matt Browning is trying to make up positions. Didn't have the best of qualifyings. We'll try to make it up. We have a spinning car of Recton, I believe.
Cameron.
Recton trying to get his nose underneath Browning. Browning gets hit in the back, which spins two other cars behind him.
Boonstra and Shackleford, I think.
Believe you would be right by that one. Absolute chaos out of the final turn. Luckily, Browning was able to go away. Former Gal going to take out the popcorn and just look at what's happening in front of him. They have a slow car, one of Landon's, it looks like, goes very deep into the corner. It will eventually go side by side now with Schaefer. P is going to get away from that one. Side by side, Sarver and Shepard almost going. Will back out is Shepard. Everyone else sliding right back in. Very chaotic first lap, to say the least, and we're still very much bunched up in the back, as you see in your picture-in-picture window side by side. Just for the final position, we'll back out, slot right back in.
And just for clarification on how slow this pack is going, Lorenzo was still off the track on Bentley corner or Bentley Straight. By the time they got down into the next few corners, he caught them in 4 corners. They're going that slow.
It's insane, as Recton's looking up the inside of Robichard here, down on the back straight into turn 8. We'll take that inside line. Actually floats out a little bit. Contact is made. All is held, but not anymore. Recton is able to get the better of Robichard, I believe, or Robichard is able to get the best of Recton there after a little door contact came into play.
And it's all kicking off behind them.
Ooh, chaos on the back.
Yeah.
Do see that. Zuch is now going side by side with Ruzik here for P5 down in turn 1. Zuch on the outside trying to make room, just trying to push Ruzik onto the inside, saying, hey, I'm here. Zuch will give that position, might try for a switchback here down into turn 2. Doesn't look to be happening. The gap is not there, so we all just slot right back in line. Good fighting from those two.
I don't think we touched on it. We have a 40-minute pit window tonight, yes?
Yes,
we do.
40-minute pit window. So in 5 minutes, 40 seconds, pit window will open. And they will have until, I believe, 10 minutes left in the race to pit. So anyone that got damaged, like Air or Lorenzo
got it bad.
They can have a kind of get free ticket here in the next 5 minutes. I can just keep it on track for the time being.
We got YouTube comments cheering on Selena and John. Let's get it. I think that's fair, Henry.
Happens every week.
Popular ones.
Very popular.
No. Who else we got, chat?
Well, we currently have Dreebs going side by side with Doc down here in the turn 8. Dreebs will take that position from Doc. Doc gonna back out of that. Dreebs actually running wide. Doc's coming back on him. We'll take that position. Actually, we'll open the door for Ruzik here to come into this battle. Dreebs now gonna have to make up all that time back.
And his teammate P, Landon P, on the back of Robichaud too, in the same corner, all over him with Recton right on P's butt too.
All right. what you want to see. Zooch trying to get back into this fight as well. They are here. Battle for P3 right now. Doc, Dreebs, Ruzik, Zooch. All happening. Decently spaced apart, I will say. I mean, like we said, not a very big track, so everyone kind of wants to keep their spaces, and we are only about 5 minutes into this race, so it's all not won within the first 10 minutes, to say the least.
No, it is not. Now, I think this 40-minute pit window plays a major factor into this race. As you can see, how close these gaps are, and people are clearly faster than who they're around. So it's definitely going to be something to watch here. And the one thing about the 40-minute pit window is, say somebody's pit and they're coming up on a blue flag, that blue flag does not have to get out of the way.
You're correct. So, I believe just to put this in perspective, if someone who is currently in P20, we'll say Tibbetts, right? Tibbetts pits as Dreebs gets around Doc there pretty easily on your screen.
Clean. That was clean.
It's very clean overtake there, and we'll keep the position here. But if someone like Tibbetts in P20 were to pit right now, well, not right now, the start of the pit window, come out right in front of Anastasi, he does not have to give that position up, even though he will be getting blue flags the entire time. Won't have to hit that position as Dreebs hits the sausage curb. Is going to fend off Doc. Doc's going to take the outside line here. Side by side, they kind of go a little bit. Doc able to hold off the car from hitting the corner panel. Zooch, yellow flag, will end up spinning, probably due to that sausage curb. Sluts through a whole pack. Not what you want to see. Zooch respectfully waiting to get onto the track safely.
Zooch actually took too much grass on the next corner after that sausage curb.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what put her in the grass.
Not what you want to see. So we do have mini battles kind of everywhere. So pit window does open in 2 minutes. I am curious to see how this will affect as Ruzik up on the inside of Doc. I stick their nose a little bit where it shouldn't have. Ended up spinning 2 cars. I believe Space Baker got collateraled by that as well, and the rest of the field, Johnny Ayers getting that as well.
We just see Ruzik there trying to get back on track, going the wrong direction. It's not good for your case there, Mr. Ruzik.
No. Is able to get back on track right in front of Fonseca. Right behind Smith of Ghost Rider Racing.
Scotty
Smith is trying to fend off Ruzik by also catching White Scarver here. 4P4. We'll keep an eye on those gaps as Donahue looks to have some contact here with Boonstra. Down here, just wasn't expecting the braking point, went down a little too hard on the inside and just tags Boonstra. Lorenzo, it might have been Lorenzo almost getting a bit of that. And now Boonstra and Donahue side by side here, coming down into turn 7. Donahue will hold that position as Donahue actually loses it. Boonstra will take the position, followed by Schaefer and Shackerfold. Donahue rejoining track. We'll have to just kind of hug it all together. Not sure if there was contact there between Boonstra and Donahue, but such is life. We move on. That is racing. Scusa very close behind Tibbetts now for this P20 position. Ooh, a little bit on the outside. We'll go a little deep, but can hold it there. No move will happen here. Senior picture-in-picture, Matt Browning getting all over the back of that gingerbread car.
Yeah, Bickham's leading this very fast train of drivers here, and Matt Browning is eager to get past him here. Is hopefully trying to do it safely here. Very good opportunity coming into this corner.
Very good opportunity with pit window as well, as Matt Browning will take that dive. Not sure if there was contact made or if there was just overcooking. But gingerbread car was spun in that matter.
I'm not a steward. Moving on.
Not a steward. Sad for Bickham, but we'll see it in the penalties chat later, maybe.
potentially.
On board with Scott Smith. Perching White Scarver, not able to close this 1 second gap, so technically still has all of the time in the world to catch him. Might not want to take this pit window. Kind of is in a good position. The cars behind him might want to take this pit window very early as well, but if you're looking at the map, they're most likely going to get dumped out in that insane backpack right now.
Yeah, definitely going early is a lose situation. Definitely will have that opportunity to hot lap, but you may not be able to hot lap for very long.
Yeah, that backpack is just very congested right now. We saw White Scarver actually going wide there, led Smith into the fight here. Is now able to get kind of that draft off of that Audi, but that Audi power is just very strong.
And Zuch actually first one into the pits.
Intrigued by that one.
Yeah, she was running P10. But I know she does have damage to fix, so that's probably why.
I will be unsurprised if Lorenzo comes into the pits by the end of this lap. And our pit guy, Austin Sawyer, will keep watch on it. Isn't that right, Austin?
Are we watching? We're always watching.
Dang, you got a title now.
Pit Lord.
Pit Lord.
Pit boss.
Pit boss.
There we go.
Who
You got
else?
the
Got
meat.
Tibbets, Madison. That's it.
Uh-oh.
Not Lorenzo.
No
Oh.
Lorenzo.
Interesting.
You were wrong.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
I am
Yeah,
unsurprised.
Lorenzo took a big smack there in the beginning of the race.
They are definitely fixing damage in the pits.
They did. They were part of a decent sized collision,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Hopefully what we don't see up in front, Anastasia and Fade, 1 second apart right now, and the gap kind of closes down every now and then.
We got
But-
Tibbets, 40 seconds of damage.
Wow,
Wow.
Time stopped.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
that is really big. Almost as big as this gap from P3 to P4. 9 seconds right now.
Yeah, those top three have ran away.
Yeah, but Anastasia's still ain't out of the woods here. Fade can make up all that time.
He's been closing the last couple laps.
Yes. Definitely fast. So, perfect opportunity if Fade can get around Anastasia very quick and just absolutely hot lap. Try to build that 10-second gap that he needs by the end of the race. But of course, if he does hold here, and I think would end up in P5. It's not the end of his season, but it would be nice to kind of stick up in that winning position right now.
Aye.
We're seeing Recton very close in the back of Sarver here down in the turn 1.
I had a moment, then just perfectly placed right back into the pits.
Yeah, I actually showed the replay in the pit.
Oh, there you go.
Braking. Yeah, I missed the braking of the last corner and almost took out. I don't remember who was in front of him, but nearly avoids him. And Donahue also followed him into the pits. Sorry to take your job there, Austin. Pit boss.
What do you want to be? The pit lackey?
Hit lackey. Oh boy.
Just don't get lost in the sauce, pit boss.
The gap in front has now closed down to 7/10 here. That Porsche's absolutely whipping in front. Fade is on a blistering pace to catch Anastasia. But that backpack battle for P19 right now is getting even closer. Speaking of closer, Shackfold on the outside of Schaefer won't be able to do it. Schaefer will keep that position, and they've just lost their time to that pack that they were in. Coming down here on the back stretch, no dives look to be taking place. Recton peered up the inside of Sarver, wasn't going to be able to take it all over the back of him here into the next turn. Not going to be able to do anything with it. Fending off his own teammate. I believe that's Bickham off in the grass right there. So we come around to the penultimate corner. Everyone just kind of thins out. P down on the front stretch, closing in with Air. Sticks their nose out to the inside in the T1. Air's going to back out of this one. We'll give the position to P. Looks like I have a little issue with the steering wheel. I have to jerk back real quick. I see Bickham now in the pits as well. Starting to take their job again.
Oh, please. Lorenzo follows. Madison teleported to the pits. Please don't leave.
Oh no.
Holy Madison.
Don't be.
Don't do it.
Don't leave.
Don't do it.
But jump
That's
into the
the
front
ultimate.
here.
That's the ultimate last position.
Anastasi is actually coming up on a blue flag right now.
Ooh, that's not what you want to be when you're entering a battle.
No.
Barrels in.
Scusa is approaching Recton. We have two drivers on the same team here. Team orders could be involved here as they are both trying to catch and overtake Sarver at this very moment. There's not much action going on around the track. A lot of battles have fizzled out a little bit. Lorenzo finally exiting the pits, but everyone from P1 to P22 still has to pit, but they have 33 minutes to do it. So let's see where this ends up. The real question is that blue flag that Anastasi is coming up on pit already or not?
Tibbets, I believe, has pitted.
That does not spell good for Anastasi at all. Tibbets will probably fight you.
Potentially.
We have the yellow flags. I see Donahue
Donahue.
and May coming together.
Ooh, he concedes.
Not May. My Donahue up the inside. My tried to hold the outside. Just got a little too wide and clipped Donahue's nose. You know, Donahue to give that one back. I would have asked Billy if I could take over this front cover because we are closing the gap pretty hard.
Gap's been closed, brother.
2/10 is the gap currently.
Sharver, Scusa, Shackleford, all in the pits.
There he is, the pit boss.
Pit balls coming in hot.
Hot.
Fade. Closing on the back of Anastasia here. Will they poke their nose out? Doesn't look to be doing so. You can take
I
those breakers in
believe-
so late in the Porsche.
I think Scusa just jumped Sharver.
Sharver. Well, no matter the jump, they're going to jump him either way. Sarver has a drive-through penalty.
Oh,
First one of the night. Ring the bell.
not good. How was that?
That was good. That was great.
Thanks, that was off my soundboard.
Oh, nice.
And boys, I just realized we've lost one driver.
Say it ain't
Was
so.
it? It wasn't.
It
It wasn't
Madison.
Mattasy. You didn't do
It
it.
was not Madison.
Good job.
Oh,
Good job. Proud of you.
but you know
Find
who
your
has-
battles.
No, who
Find
hasn't
your
lost?
battles.
Fade. Still closing the gap on Anastasi. All over the back in Sector 1 and 3, but when it comes to the middle of Sector 2 and starting that Sector 1, he just seems to... Anastasi's able to take that gap, and it's most likely because of that engine power. Porsche not very good on engine power, but those late brakes are so good, so... When you are in the Porsche, you kind of just have to absolutely send it and hope that you can trust the driver in front of you sometimes. I'm not condoning this behavior, by the way.
No? Oh, okay.
I'm not
Reed's
condoning
entering
a,
the chat though.
I'm not condoning
Reed's-
a 5/10 dive. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying Dreebs is entering the chat.
He is. Only a second and 2/10 off. So it's Aston. It'll be Aston, Porsche, Aston. If Dreebs can get in the fight. And I believe Fate is just kind of being held up in these, you know, squiggly sections. I think we're getting Sarver coming in to serve their penalty.
He sure is. Right through the pits he goes.
Not carrying the world.
He was up a lot. I think he was up 16 before he pit.
I believe he was.
Yeah.
And now
Good
he's
on you.
going down 16. And Dreebs has now officially entered the chat. It is now a battle for first. Anastasi, Fade, and Dreebs. Dreebs will probably be looking to absolutely blow by Fade here, considering Fade cannot get past Anastasi, and if he can't get past Anastasi and Dreebs is just caught up now. That's a faster car right there. Also, blue
where's-
flag.
Let's go over 14 back.
Yeah,
we got race for first.
Yeah, we do. And it could definitely end in some chaos here, especially since we have the blue flag of, not necessarily sure who that is.
Why?
That is the blue flag of Mai, yes. But if I'm not mistaken, Mai has pit also, so they can hold off their position if they want. Donahue's a little spun out on track. They're re-entering the track onto the straight. Actually, might go side by side here with Donahue down the back stretch. Donahue and Mai side by side initially. Doesn't look to be doing anything from there. But Anastasi wants past Donahue now. Holding up the pack so much that Dreebs was able to close the gap to 1/10 to Fade. Fade not going to be able to take advantage of this, or should be able to, coming up here into the final turn, and if not, try to do something on the front stretch. These blue flags do not have to move at all if they have pit, and I believe Donahue has pit already. Donahue will respectfully move out of the way though, but gets on the power right away. No one poking their nose out just yet. Dreeb's going to stay in line. Anastasi's not going to be able to overtake that blue flag. Fade trying to find a way through. Not able to do so. Pokes down the inside. Won't find anything. Dreebs is actually going to take a late apex here. Try to get the better run out of the turn. Won't be doing so. Anastasi has to dive quickly over to the right, slowing down their speed. Side by side. Fade and Donahue go. This is bad for Fade. We'll get through clearly. Now Dreebs has to get by Donahue. Donahue will looks to be letting them by. Anastasi drives off into the distance now. Fade trying to come back at him, but nothing really happening there. Bailey, what's been going on in your world?
Well, I have been very curious to see who we have lost today. And I believe you came to me at the perfect time because I believe I've figured it out finally.
Go for it.
It seems to be Ryan Farrell.
In the chat.
F in the chat, please. Thank you.
So sad to see.
F for Farrell.
But now I can relax because that was driving me crazy. One thing I have seen though, Austin Whitescarver up in P4 had an off at the beginning of the race and is still running in P4.
I know. Perseverance. But
Yeah.
Scott Smith approaching very fast behind as well. So we'll have to get cameras on that battle. You know what battle we have to get cameras on? Space Baker going down the inside of Fonseca. Ruzic trying to make a move on Fonseca. Not going to be able to do it. So they will just slot right back in line. Nothing comes from there. Big win for Space Baker. Try to get that lead out now. Space Baker, surprisingly, I'll be honest, Space Baker isn't a name we haven't really seen here at the top, so I'm kind of surprised he is here right now. And now we're seeing Fade and Anastasi go side by side. Little door clattering. Won't hurt anyone. Fade never takes that position. Just for safekeeping, let's get a replay of this absolute send that Fade did. Did stick it enough. Little touches, so Anastasi will concede that position, I believe. I believe that's a legit pass, but I'm not no Stewart.
Just an entertainer.
Yes, Stewart. Little Stewart.
Yeah. Little Stu.
I knew you were a rat.
Stuart Little reference. We love it.
Fade quickly getting past the blue flag. Side by side they go now. Is Anastasi will be able to get past that. Dreebs taking their chance going up the inside very fast as well. Fade is off to the races here, but won't have the engine power to hold off Anastasi on the back stretch. 7/10 closes down the gap currently. Will only get larger as we go through time. Ruzic overtook Fonseca as well.
Sure did.
Not much battle is really happening everywhere else. This top 3 battle kind of is the highlight of the race right now.
It is, and with a 40-minute pit window in it, there being so much strategy involved, that The gaps are going to be so open that everybody's going to be on a different strategy. You're going to be getting guys who pit with 40 minutes left, guys that pit with 15 minutes left. The race is won in the pit lane today.
There is no real safe place to pit per se right now. Even if you were to pit at the very last second, you'd probably still come out in some traffic because we're that spread out right now.
For sure.
But the top 16 have still yet to pit, so they will have to do it sometime within the next 24 minutes. And Astasi, 6/10, 5/10 is the gap now. Coming up on another blue flag is Fade, not spelling good for them. That blue flag
Winners.
does not have to. Ooh, that's a bad line. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, we're talking about pit winners so far with time stopped, and we're at 9 seconds of Scusa and Formigo. Fastest so far.
9
Everyone else looks like
seconds.
they're, yeah. So it's, what, 6 is the fastest, right?
Ooh, Fade getting their exit really blowing apart there. Let's say Anastasi come into play. Side by side, they'll go. Anastasi puts their nose down on the inside. We'll have to be late on the brakes. That's hard to do with a Porsche. Fade will take that inside line. Dreams has to react to Anastasi's late move there. And we all kind of settled down after that very terrible exit from Fade. Just barely hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Sorry for cutting you off, but that was very hectic.
Got some action.
We do
Just
have
glad to see it.
Yeah, never cut off the pit boss again.
Yeah, straight to jail.
I'm sorry, pit boss. I'm sorry. None of them dipping into the pitch just yet. We do still have 22 minutes left in the pit window. 32 in the race.
Well, Fade, you got 9.5 more seconds to go. You got this.
It's gonna be a hard one to do with the engine power of an Aston right behind you. Plus, in the slipstream is even worse.
And then you got all the pressure on you to keep them behind you as well.
Yep, you're on camera right now, so you know we're about to caster curse you real quick.
Yeah,
Sorry.
not me though.
Not you.
Stuart Little only.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh, Madison spins. Oh. Hang in there, bud. You got this.
You got it. Just finish the race. You can do it. You never know what will happen.
Taylor looks like the grown-up version of the Stuart Little kid.
What is this?
Oh, savage.
What is this? Whatever.
We got
Nick.
pit boss and Stuart Little.
Well, you know who's not little? Fade. Because finally deciding to gap Anastasi here. 1.2 seconds is the gap right now. Enough to pull out of the slipstream. So hopefully Fade can kind of now pull away. Try to gain that 10-second gap. Now the pressure is on Dreebs to try to catch Anastasi. It's happening in the back as Shackelfold's closing the gap very close on Formigal. Formigal will be able to take that line. And will hold that position at the cutaway there just to see. We're also seeing Matt Browning approaching Fonseca for P8 here.
Yeah, and Fonseca, wow. Jeez, that kind of hurt, to be
Bless
honest.
you.
Not alone finally.
Fonseca has been on the back of Ruzic too, which has allowed Browning to catch up to these two, but they are also slowly catching up to Mr. Spacebaker. So we're about to get a four-way battle here in a second.
Spacebaker to Ruzic to Fonseca to Browning. That will be a great battle as the gaps in front have kind of died out a little bit. We'll keep an eye on those for you. They're all kind of a second and over right now. Fade still in the lead with a 1.7 second gap behind. Hopefully they can hold on to that. On board with Matt Browning. Trying to find his way up the field after having a not so great qualifying session. Currently up 9 positions. So not bad at all. Austin, what you got?
Math, man, it's hard. I want to see where Myra's gonna come out once everyone is done pitting.
Where the pit boss?
No,
Not the math boss.
Pull out
not the math boss
pull
tonight.
out the
That's Stuart
calculator,
Little.
boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm just being roasted toaster here.
Yeah,
This is what I get for hosting.
I guess so. But I'll say it out loud. I know Mr. Donahue won't appreciate it,
Oh boy.
but he was talking so he felt very confident coming into this week. Said he was dialing in his setup. Currently running P28. We shall say very early. This is the fault of Mr. Donahue once again.
Oh, not again.
Yes, he's gonna message me. Very upset about it, but it had to be said.
Matt Browning overtook Fonseca here. I'm not sure of what happened. Fonseca taking too much sausage, getting thrown wide.
Not enough sauce.
I think a little too much sauce.
Cool myself.
Too much sauce. Ruzik or Space Baker into the pits. Not gonna wanna battle the oncoming slaughter of Ruzik and Browning. Now I've taken the pit boss's job again.
Just too fast.
Too fast. Former Gal trying to overtake Shackelford. Not happening. We'll slot back in line, but does have another stretch here. And we'll have all the engine power in the world compared to that McLaren. And down the back stretch. Bickham actually closing the gap better. Is going to poke their nose out on the inside. Oh, Former Gal decides to back out. Won't take that. Oh, everyone slots right back in line, and little mini battles are kind of popping up here and there and everywhere right now. Speaking of, Zooch, Schaefer, and Brown are now in a battle here for P15. And Zooch
Didn't know we had
Found herself in some traffic.
yeah.
which, I mean, this is good. This is good traffic, though, essentially, because this is the people who have not pit. So, I mean, any way up from here, you're gaining a position overall.
I'm still kind of confused on the difference between good and bad traffic.
Well, there is no good
Yeah,
traffic,
describe.
but Zooch is trying to make a good situation out of this one. All on the inside, little bumping
Oh, forcing
between
herself.
her and Schaefer. Zooch will just fall right back. Schaefer getting their elbows out there, not giving any position to Zooch for free, to say the least. Going onto the back stretch, maybe Zooch can do something here into the quote-unquote heavy braking zone of turn 8. Very swooping.
And the team of Scott Smith and Matt Browning are in the pits right now.
A double stack for Ram Ranch.
Ram Ranch.
Your fadeaway counter, less than 7 seconds.
Wow.
Or his magical 10.
You know who's catching right now? Dreebs. 0.3 is the gap right now to Anastasi. Coming here onto the back stretch, so they will have all of that slipstream. We'll eat all of that up. Will they have enough momentum to carry into turn 8 to get an overtake done? Doesn't look to be doing so, so they will just kind of slide right back in. Not going to be happening anytime soon. It looks like Dreebs looks very content in their position. Will be looking very content if they keep taking more grass, as Bickham on the back of Formigal, almost coming close to touching. Will not, though. Good on the brakes.
Ooh,
Robershard.
Robershard. Coming out of the pits. A little dicey.
Cold tires.
Yeah.
Team
Good
Ram
livery,
Ranch.
Good livery, though.
Yeah, Team Ram Ranch actually out of the pits. They stayed in the top 10, very surprisingly.
Wow. That's actually
Smith and Browning, 9-10, with a clear pit.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's looking pretty good.
Very good for them.
That's big.
Is insanely huge. Might have a chance here to actually kind of jump literally everyone in front of them.
Yeah, they got 20 seconds in front of them.
Very big. White Scarver's also in the pits now.
Well, and they just got to get past Johnny Air.
And that does seem to be the closest battle, other than Dreebs currently trying to get past Anastasi. Anastasi recognizing Dreebs is there, taking more defensive lines now.
Bleeding time to fade, though. This is big. Oh, White Scarver stop go 30.
Oh no, speeding in the pits.
Oof.
Another position for the Smith and Browning team. Air actually going to pit and get out of the way of that battle. That's insanely huge for Smith and Browning now.
Another position gained.
There's only up from here, boys.
Yes,
Hashtag
bring it home
Ram
for Ram Ranch.
There's Dreves and Anastasi approaching a blue flag. It looks to be a Ghost Rider Racing livery. Not sure if
I
who
think that's
that
Luis
is.
Formiguel, I believe.
Oh, unfortunate. Come on, Formiguel. You're supposed to hold him up so that Scott and Matt can get the position.
We're not biased, by the way.
We're not biased.
Wait, who are they sponsored by?
Bendy Brew! ShopBendyBrew.com.
Everyone gets their shout outs here.
What is a bendy brew?
Oh, boy.
Don't even get me started.
We can get that started after this. Smith and Browning. Smith going side by side with White Scarver now. White Scarver will just give that position to Smith. Not going to decide to waste any time for their stop over 30. Matt Browning next up on the list to pass White Scarver. Scarver will just let them through as well, it seems like. No fighting here. Wants to minimize that time lost from that stop go 30. Doing a great job. 20 seconds back is Smith now.
And those two got a pretty open track to eat some time here.
It is. So pit boss, I don't know if you've been counting. What has been the average pit stop time?
That's his pit 26 seconds by Mr. Browning. So that's our fastest. But actually, Air tied him. We got 26 total. Stopping for 5 seconds. It's actually a pretty quick pit.
You know, that's a pretty short pit time.
Yeah.
Say at
White
least
Scarver coming to serve his. Stop go 30.
that will give the position to Shepard, I believe, and Schaefer.
It's going to be a lot more than that. Yeah.
Oh, Matt Browning taking it a little deep. Is able to hold it together. And take the pressure off them. Take the cameras away real quick. Go over to Zooch. Also going extremely deep. Trying to get past Schaefer. Won't be able to do that. We'll have to make up all that time that they just lost there. They were about 3/10 out. Now they're, well, 6. So they didn't lose a ton, but had to dive. And Zooch needs to get past Schaefer here in order to bypass another non-pitting person.
You, sir, are not allowed to watch a Ghost Rider racing car ever again.
It seems like that's the issue here. So we'll go over to Dreebs. 4/10, 5/10 away from Anastat. It seems like everyone I'm watching is just dropping.
Well,
yeah, they all go deep in this corner.
But they are approaching a ton of blue flags.
We need a wellness check for Holmes.
It seems like Fade also had some issue with these blue flags. Lost about a second gap to Anastasi there. So same thing comes here for Anastasi. Should gain that second back. Also should give Dreebs an actual window to kind of dive in, take that position unexpectedly when he's just trying to get past blue flags. But we do have about just over 10 minutes left in pit window. So we'll have to see all these front runners come in shortly as Anastasi's going side by side with the blue flags. Dreebs minimizing that downtime. Blue flag off on the side. This spells disaster for Fade, as Fade had trouble going through them. Anastasi and Dreebs just going to absolutely power their way down past them. We'll continue on with their life. Not much going on around track elsewhere. We have a battle for P12. Recton Scusa Space Baker right now. But nothing really closing in yet. Still waiting for these pits to come through. 20 minutes left in the race. And Dreebs is diving into the pits now.
Yeah, the front three are almost a full pit stop clear of P4.
That is absolutely insane.
So Ruzic should be ahead of Dreebs.
There's a spinning dock on track. Car in front getting a little squirrely. Choosing up the inside. What dove a little late. I'm not a steward, but that was a very bad gas up spin at the end there. It's not for me to judge. Dreeb's going to come out behind Ruzic, it looks like, overall. So not a terrible pit stop. Actually, will come out behind Fonseca as well.
Mm-hmm.
Less than ideal here, but those two also have to pit as well. His teammate.
I believe Schaefer just had an off. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Allows Masuch to go through.
Dreebs. Fonseca goes off, going deep into the turn. We'll end up giving position to Dreebs. MP still has to pit. We'll actually might end up giving position to Smith and Browning later in the future, as well as Zuch.
And Austin, just a heads up, Schaefer might have a stop go 30, so just watch for that.
Ooh.
Ooh, was he coming in hot?
He was. He hit the pit lane board.
Ooh.
Trying to slow the car down.
Uh-oh.
If it works, it works.
March. Let's see it. Drum roll. Soundboard.
You really hit the mark there, bud.
Thank you.
Clean.
Clean, he did it. Wow,
Clean.
I am impressed.
He
I
washed
did not
his
think he
hands
got
before
it.
coming out. So we are starting to see these battles start rising again. Sorry for the cutoff, Austin.
We still need a wellness check on Holmes. You still sit in the pit.
Mhm.
Good news for Mattasy, though. You find your battle. Anything can happen.
Exactly. You never
Those
leave.
points.
Robertshard having to take more defensive lines now that Brown and Lorenzo are all over the back of him. Lorenzo had such a good outing at Misano, is now not having such the greatest here at Snetterton.
I don't blame him.
That's fair enough.
And Mai has an off here as well.
Ooh, and Brown going wide, flicking his butt up. We'll give Lorenzo the run down here into turn 8. I think they will outpower Brown. Looks to be doing so. This opts for a middle line, but opts for the racing line now. Will successfully overtake Brown there. Now they start the charge to Robertshard. Fonseca trying to battle back at P, trying to close that gap, not able to do so just yet.
And P and Fonseca, I believe, are the last two that need to pit still with 6.5 minutes.
Did Anastasi pit or?
Actually, no. Anastasi and Fade.
Yes. And Ruzic.
And Rusick, yep,
And-
sorry.
Fade, Anastasi, Ruzic, P, Fonseca are your
Yep.
last non-pitters. 6 minutes left to do it, so plenty of time with these 1.5 laps. You have about 3 more if you want to get it in there early.
Fade is almost to that 10-second gap that he needs to clear his penalty.
Very close, but will the pit lane actually kill him in terms of when and where they pit?
Mm.
As P goes into the pit now.
Make sure you push that P.
That P, Recton approaching the air quite rapidly, might I say, all over the back of him at this very moment. Aston Martin on Aston Martin on Aston Martin here. Coming down the back stretch, slipstreams all around. No one really going to be able to get their nose out for the dive, as this is a long sweeping corner, so it is pretty hard. But the teammates of Scusa and Recton have been driving pretty much side by side this entire race.
Yeah, and Fade is probably going to want to pit here soon as he's coming up on the battle of Brown, Robichaud, and Lorenzo. But Robichaud actually goes off. So that's one less car he's got to go through. So we'll see if Brown and Lorenzo actually give it to him or if he dives into the pits.
As now air actually went a little wide in the last turn, opens the door for Recton and Scusa They both overtake. Now Recton and Scooza are going side by side. Okay, Recton gonna team orders and let Scooza go and just try to chase forward to catch Zooch. 22-second gap. It's a tall order to ask, but if anyone can do it, he can, I guess.
He had some bad luck with P. He had a long stop and then exiting the pit lane, his car shut off.
Oh no, wrong button.
Wrong button.
And we're rubbing.
Fade has now entered the pits. Pit boss.
Gonna be spicy.
Will
See
be
where he comes out.
spicy.
Hit a good pit. 7-second stop. Will those 2 seconds matter?
All eyes on Anastasi here. Still has to pit sometime here. Same with Ruzik. 22-second gap currently. And if you were saying the fastest we got was a 26-second pit
No,
stop.
26. 26? Yep.
This is spelling good for Fade right now. As Fonseca's under yellow. Ended up very far off the track here.
You know what this spells is another position for Ram Ranch.
Just overcooking it too much in turn 1. Oh, and that's going to be some damage. It's going to be some heavy damage. 3 minutes left in the pit window. Fonseca still has to take their pit stop, so most likely will do that, repair their damage, try to get out of the way. As the Ghost Rider Racing Squad is kind of looking primed up here.
Yeah, they're definitely looking like the team to win here.
Maybe not overall just yet.
No, that's why I said team.
Most points to take out of this. Anastasi. Perching the pit here. Will they take it or will they decide for another lap?
They take. They take.
We'll take that pit stop. Came in hot. Does look to get the car stopped. Now all eyes on Fade. To see where Fade will come out in terms of Anastasi. This has been a very strategic race compared to possibly every other race in this season so far. Looks like Fade will overtake Anastasi. Will get the lead, but does have a lot of cars to go through, as these are actual blue flags now. So they have to move. They can't defend anymore. But that gap from Fade to Ruzik has now shrunk.
And Dreebs, crucially, got that gap too.
Dreebs has already pit. From second
Yes.
into the pits now as well. This is all unfolding here in the final 11 minutes. Minute 30 left in the pit window for Ruzik to get in there and get it done. Everyone kind of spread out at this very moment. Fade trying to navigate through traffic isn't going to be able to do it. Should be able to get this position here on the back stretch if they don't concede it now. It's not like they can battle. Everyone has pit so far, except for Ruzik. Blue flag not letting way. We'll stay in front. That might be a no-no to the Stewarts here.
Yeah, you tell him, Stuart Little.
Okay. I can tell the on-track Stewarts having a field day.
New flare. Oh, Fonseca stop go 30.
Oh, no.
Long pit too, and then oof. It's tough to see.
Yeah.
The hand is in the air for sure. Not what you want to see. Fade still having all these issues with these blue flags. They do have to move out of the way here. At some point, Ruzik's going into the pits now.
Makes it by 15 seconds.
Blue flag's just not moving. Unsure if they think they can still defend from this. Fade losing all the time that he gained right now. Pit window has been closed. I believe Ruzik made it in at the last second, so everyone's pit is up to temp. Unless there's someone I'm missing, Mr. Sawyer, pit boss.
Oh, clean. All green.
Clean green.
No.
Except for Fonseca's stop go 30, but different story there.
Oh, and Scott Smith actually comes out in front of Rusick. So Rusick
Wow.
now splits Team Ram Ranch.
I know Matt Browning. Matt Browning will do their work. Or at least attempt to.
Yeah. I believe he's got no, he's got he's right on the tail of Rusick here.
He is.
So Matt Browning is going to be having a field day here.
We'll keep the eyes on him.
Speaking of doing work, biggest gainers, how many positions do you think? Without looking.
Without looking?
Matt Browning.
Yeah.
He's close, but
He-
Scusa, 19 positions.
Wow.
19. That's a lot.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
Very big.
Browning's at 12. Still pretty solid.
It's pretty
What about
He's in
biggest
second.
losers?
Biggest losers are the people who left.
Fair
Connor.
enough.
Brian Farrell. We've lost 2 more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was-
I'm gonna guess it was the 2 people who were crocheting in the pits.
The crochet.
Probably
Well, I did
selling.
find out firsthand experience, you have to complete, I think it's like 75% of the laps the leader
Correct.
does, so you can't just chill in the pit lane and just take a point for last.
Ah,
You
correct.
gotta actually, use your pedals.
yeah. Well, I think they got a wellness check and they had to go enter the door.
Maybe a life alert button was hit.
Yeah, potentially, but
Recton's closing the gap to Scusa. The teammates doubt we'll see any fighting there, but Lorenzo is now closing the gap to Air.
remember Fonseca, who was running P5, P6?
Yes,
Currently down in P27
Yep.
that's a
with the
loss.
stop go 30.
Thank you. Stop, go, and a long pit.
Lorenzo tried the outside on Air, wasn't able to hold it. We'll have to slot back in, try again later. Matt Browning still attempting to get up to Rusick, not able to close that gap just enough. That McLaren engine probably not helping on the straights either. And down here to the final turn.
Uh-oh.
Air went too deep. Lorenzo is able to dive out. Side by side they go. Lorenzo does have the run, but doesn't have enough power to get to the end of the straight and be ahead. They do. Coming up behind them, P going side by side with Air now. Following Lorenzo through, Air will back out. Lorenzo and P will just take these positions and drive off into the sunset. And Shackelford and Schaefer now going side by side here down in the turn 1. Looks like Schaefer will just concede this position. Shackelford will take that nice and cleanly. Just not
Ooh,
afraid.
server Anastasi.
Let's get a replay on that one. Penultimate corner. So this is huge. Anastasi going down on the inside. Sarver just wasn't expecting it or seeing it. Anastasi losing minimum time, but unsure of how you would call that one there.
Definitely not a corner for overtaking. It does look like Anastasi was assuming that Server was going to move of a blue flag, but can never assume that.
Never assumes.
That's correct. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, there could be some confusion here. We weren't in the driver's briefing personally. It could have been confusion between what you can and can't defend as a blue flag.
Yeah.
It happens. You might get slapped with a warning or a nice stern talking to.
Yeah, I just know that every week is usually the same. It's always make it safe, never a risky corner to where it could compromise more than just the 2 of you. So,
Mhm. But Anastasi's still within that 10-second gap that Fade needs currently. So Fade needs to hammer down, start turning out some laps. They do have the fastest time right now, 47.6, and that's no small feat. Just can they keep it up? They're currently around 48.7s. So it's going to come down to the wire here.
it is. I just don't think Fade has the lap times right now to get that extra 4.5
Those
seconds.
blue
they
flags
need.
are just doing them dirty. There's no, I
Yeah.
don't think they.
Blue flags do have to move out of the way as per rules. So
Yeah.
But you still lose time. So.
still lose time, but they do have to
Yeah.
move. They cannot defend
Well, they have the 1 lap, remember?
Wait, Dreeps?
Dreeps into the pits.
Dreeb's in the pits.
There was no penalty there.
What? Gas?
Might be gas.
Oh no.
All
This is kind of a
brakes,
long
no
pit stop.
gas.
Damage?
I don't know.
That's a very long pit stop for 4 minutes of fuel.
He's just hemorrhaging time, dropping on the order. 5th, 6th, 7th.
Team Landon not looking the greatest this week.
No. Definitely in trouble. This is a very long pit stop.
Did we miss
What?
something? He drops?
Oh, he's coming out.
Oh no.
Unsure
You know what that means?
happened.
Team Ram Ranch.
Team Ram Ranch does have a podium position right now.
Yeah.
I believe he is the fastest man out there to have pit twice.
That's insane.
You do not get extra points for that.
You're not. You get a gold star in our book, though.
Wow.
Respect.
It's Recton and sorry, not Recton and Scusa. Brown and Air coming down here, main straight. Brown poking their nose on the inside, squeezing Air all the way to the outside. Air will just give up the position back out of turn 1. Brown actually cooks it, goes deep, ends up in the grass. Air will be able to drive away like nothing ever happened, and Brown will now lose all that time to Robertshard behind.
Yeah, he was playing chess when I don't know what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you
Yeah, when they were playing checkers. I believe that is the quote.
that do be the same.
Mm.
Yo, Fade's got some air. I think he can do it. And his eyes is going to be coming up on some blues.
I got about 2 laps left. So
He's got easy.
Robertshard cooking it deep there in that turn, almost coming to the back of Brown, not happening though. Battle for P8, Scusa, Recton, and P has joined the battle after that pit stop. Or, sorry, not pit stop, that was Dreams. Sorry, same livery.
I also, not to curse Fade, but I did call it. I'm sorry if you.
That's
crashed
not over
and
yet.
die.
It is not over yet. 9 seconds the gap, just needs about 1 more second. And
Wow.
just to let anyone
7,
know,
10,
if you
5
just
tenths.
joined us,
Ooh.
we have mentioned that Fade will get a 10-second time penalty tacked on at the end of this race. So if Fade wants to hold first position, we will need a 10-second gap to second, who is Anastasi right now. Anastasi might not know that, might just be keeping it clean on track. Just trying to get to
Which
the
is
end.
Which is crucial for our driver standings because it's Fade and Anastasi.
And P goes off into the grass, and Scusa going to let Recton by. Actually catches P a little bit off guard. Has to take to the grass as well. Team orders getting out of hand. Scusa going wide. P will dive up on the inside. We'll take that position. Scusa has to bite the bullet. Final lap has been called for Fade. Fade has 1 lap to put down 1 second gap to Anastasi just on this lap. Everywhere else has kind of mellowed out. Robertshard trying to get the best of Brown. Not happening. Went a little too deep in that corner.
Almost took out Brown.
On board with Fade. See what they can do. See if they mess up anything on this lap. Currently 9.5 seconds is the gap. It's making it all up. Anastasi looks to be having some blue flag issues as well.
Oh. That's exactly what he needed just there.
Anastasi getting a little caught up. Fade has the 10-second gap right now, but teeter-tottering over the edge. This is a flat 10-second currently. Needs to still have this clean lap near the end. Can't let Anastasi get that time up. Anastasi will have clean air for the rest of this lap unless something drastic happens to car number 913 I see on the map. Fade
This is going to be close, boys.
is going to be nail-bitingly close as Fade rounds out the penultimate corner. I think Fade could have done a little bit better getting all that time there here in Sector 3, but it is going to be close. Not getting a great exit might spell disaster for Fade. As that gap is just bleeding away. Fade is your on-track winner. Anastasi comes in and will be able to put in a better gap, I believe, to the leader. If I'm not mistaken, their finishing times are within 10 seconds. So I think
5.
Anastasi,
Didn't make it.
Anastasi will make it.
In regard to Fade, yeah.
Fade will
Anastasi.
make it.
Way the donut.
Way to
That's
die. Scott Smith getting on podium for Ghost Rider, followed by Ruzick going in 4th. Matt Browning able to round out 5th, and Zuch rounding out the final corner for P6. Dreebs also rounding out the final corner. We'll end up with P7 in their back pocket. Recton under yellow right now and under pressure here from P. P actually overtook Recton here in the final sector. P looks to be in position to take P8 here. Recton not getting the best exit either. Scusa will hold off Lorenzo behind. Lorenzo and Scusa drag race to the finish line, and it will be Lorenzo coming last before Scusa.
He was at 22 positions gained.
Wow. Absolutely insane. Wait for the rest of the grid to finish up. What a race, boys. What a race.
What a race from start to finish.
With a little bit of difficulties here and there. In terms of who's winning what, who's doing what. Well, it seems like Anastasi is our technical race winner here.
Yep, 9.5 seconds.
So
I
asked.
I just got an update on Landon Dreebs of what happened and why he pit.
Go for it.
Yes.
I asked him. I said, Landon Dreebs, what happened? He says, I am bad at math.
Oh, it's gas. Oh no.
Not what you'll like to see. Seemed like an awfully
have
long
him talk
pit
to
stop.
Stuart Little for next week.
Excuse me. So who do we pull up here? Do we pull up the on-track winner or do we pull up Anastasi?
Both.
I mean, we certainly can. We'll start with our own track winner, Fade, if they are in chat anywhere. Let me do a little bit of perusing here. I do see them. Fade, you were the on-track winner of Snetterton. I'm sorry to say that. Because I believe you had a 10-second time penalty that was going to get tacked on at the end of this race. Am I wrong?
I have no idea, man. I didn't know if it was going to get applied to the previous one or this one, so I don't know. Yeah, I probably could have made 10 seconds, but I had some trouble with lap traffic there. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I practiced so hard. Like, I don't know, man. I've never practiced. Like, I probably put in maybe 12 to 16 hours this last week. Yeah, so like I really wanted to do well. So I'm happy with the result. I kind of botched quali. I could have been faster in quali, and so that kind of held me up behind Anastasi in the beginning. But other than that, like I'm still on a high. So it's a win in my book. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, you
So
certainly
true.
win the on-track fight. Austin Sawyer here, our resident penalty guy, said he gets tacked on at the end of this race. He could be wrong. He's not.
I
He
could
is
also
wrong.
be wrong.
I can confirm that he is wrong. Zodi Fade, you are today's winner.
Woo!
Wait, I'm about to bathe myself in champagne or whatever I can find in the fridge.
Exactly.
Miller Lite, champagne.
Yeah,
confirmed.
Miller Lite, whatever's in there. It's going down right now, man.
Fine Pilsner.
Yeah, I'm
Fine
telling you,
puzzle.
whatever's there. I worked hard, guys. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So yeah.
Definitely well earned.
Definitely well
Yeah.
earned as we hyped up the ending of that race for no reason. But thanks
But
for
hey,
putting on a show.
yeah, whatever happens, it was good fun. It was good stuff. Yeah. So hey, and appreciate you guys. I always watch the stream after, so keep up the good
Well,
work.
Gonna have some great anecdotes after this race.
Yes.
So.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Enjoy
Appreciate
your
it.
win. Have a good night.
All right, appreciate it, brothers.
Yep.
You're so right. This is for Misano.
This is yeah.
Yes.
Stewards are not up to date. Shame.
How dare you?
Shame. Just blame myself.
That's
We-
okay. You still hold pit boss.
Still
Yes, so true.
Who was today's silver winner?
Oh, I saw it. I can
Oh.
tell you here in a second.
Was it air?
I don't believe so.
No, I believe it was. Tell me this isn't in order. What?
Oh, come on, Bailey.
Nope. We're just gonna do this the smart way. Today's silver winner, I believe, was Recton.
Recton. Can I find Recton in the chat?
Unless he binned it at the end of the race, but I don't think he did.
I don't believe he binned it enough to give up silver, but I'm not seeing Recton in chat.
No. I know the team of Ram Ranch are absolutely buzzing right now.
Do we want to pull up both of them? One of them?
I say both of them, the team.
If we can get them in this Discord.
Yep, let me get them over real quick.
Yep, we do that, and we'll waste time by promoting SRA. If you like what you're seeing and you actually want to drive with us, head on over to our website at simracingalliance.com. Go on there. You can join the Discord. We're a fun-loving batch of people just having fun racing, very clean. This ain't no open lobby stuff. So come in, look around. We still have some spots open. Might not be adding anyone till next season. I could also be wrong about that.
All right, Team Ram Ranch are ready.
They are. Where are they at?
I don't know.
This doesn't help.
They're in a chat somewhere. Race chat 1.
Race chat 1? Why are they in 1? I don't see them.
Race chat 1, Taylor.
I see them.
God.
I need new eyes. It's okay.
Yeah.
The team of Ghost Rider Racing Ram Ranch, not any divisional wins today, but pretty good finishing. Scott Smith getting a podium. How are you both feeling right now?
Sweaty. Very sweaty. It's very hot in here.
Well, we were very in depth with where you all started. Matt obviously not having the greatest of qualifying sessions we think you could have had. Battled your
I was
way
on
back.
pace for a 48 flat at when the timer ran out, and I messed up the very last turn.
I had
That's
no pace in practice and qualifying. I would have been happy with a top 10 out of this race.
Well, you got the top 3 podium, 3rd place position, might I add. And I just want to ask strategy-wise, because this is a 40-minute pit window strategy. We saw you pit early compared to the top 16 people that hadn't pit yet, and it ended up working out in your favor. You jumped nearly every single one of them. What was the thought process?
My thought process was I was behind White Scarver and 2 cars that were already pitted and may as well pit now. That was the strategy. Just get out of traffic.
We were talking in voice chat, and every couple laps we'd kind of confer with each other to see when we wanted to do it. And we just found a nice window where we'd come out in clean air and get some time to run. And luckily I had a perfect pit stop and came out right behind Scott. And we just held it down, and we were just counting it down lap after lap, seeing what people are doing. And I don't know what was going on, but I guess there's a few drive-throughs and some mistakes in the pits, but
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, so was it planned to come out one in front of the other, or
no,
No,
not
he
at
just
all.
had a better pit stop than me. I missed my marker board a little bit.
well, that is unfortunate. You weren't the only team that went 1-2 together. I believe a different team, I believe Scusa's team, also did that. Had a few team orders in there. Didn't see any team orders from you, but it worked out in the end for both of
We
you.
had team orders. We were just gonna stick where we were. The plan was to hold off Sarver, but I had some bad outlaps and he got stuck between us. But luckily Scott held him off at the end for the podium.
Well, it worked out. Scott got podium. You get good points for your team. I believe this is going to absolutely skyrocket your team up in the standings, I believe.
I sure hope so.
We'll keep an eye on that, but enjoy the 2-week break that we have coming up, and we'll see you next time at Barcelona.
I was
wet, right?
exhausted before the race, but I made myself a cup of coffee with my bendy brew, got me in the seat, got me some energy, and here we are.
Yes,
boys.
I will say
I don't drink coffee, but if I did, I would use bendy brew. So
yes, shout bendybrew.com. I will say the best.
Get yours now.
The best thing I saw in that whole race was when you guys came out the pits together, and all I saw was bendy brew.
Well, enjoy the 2-week break, guys. We'll see you back in 2 weeks at Wet Barcelona, sadly. So enjoy the fun night.
Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
What a fun batch of people.
You can't buy that. You
No,
can't buy that.
You can't. That was great. But I will again shamelessly plug our league. If you like what you're seeing, you want to join us, simracingalliance.com is where you can go to join us. Our Discord, come in, chat. We're all loving group of people, love talking to people. Just trying to race and have fun together.
Facts.
Austin, any final thoughts before we throw her away?
None. Great job, everyone.
I'll do the same with you, Bailey.
Good.
Well, sounding out for round 5 here at Snetterton. We'll see you in another 2 weeks. Taylor, Bailey, and Austin. Have a good holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah. Happy holidays. See you next time.